Alright everybody, welcome back. I know it's been a while since we did any videos on the R7, but today is the day where we get to install an Akrapovic, however you want to say it, exhaust on the R7. This has been in the works for a while. I ordered it kind of around my birthday in November from a UK source, had it shipped to my parents in England, and then when I was last there for a quick visit at the end of November, I was able to get this shipped over to the US. It's very slightly used in the sense, according to the seller, and I don't have any reason to doubt it, this was used as a test on a test bike for the TT by Peter Hickman. So it's had some dyno miles on it, but no road miles, and it looks absolutely pristine. A little bit of coloration from the use on the engine, but whatever. So I've also gone and got some new exhaust gasket washers and a spring puller to just help me get the springs on the exhaust. So with no further ado, I'm just going to start stripping these side panels off the bike and see what we're up against. The hardest bit might be just loosening up that lambda sensor, the exhaust sensor. But we'll see how we get on. So I'm not going to do like a full how-to or anything. This is just going to be step by step. I'll show you as we go along. Okay? See you. Okay, so that took around about 10 or 15 minutes. We got there's two lower fairing panels that we've taken off, and with just taking those two off, I've been able to extract the original exhaust. You don't need to move the radiator or anything to get to the header studs, the header stud nuts. Those are 12mm each, and the mounting point of the silencer is also 12mm, and then 17mm spanner for the oxygen sensor, the exhaust sensor. It's a good tip to protect the end of the sensor whilst you're doing any work on the exhaust, because these are delicate instruments, so protect those where you can. And so yeah, nice and easy, nothing too difficult in order to get the exhaust off. So now I'm going to read the instructions and figure out how to start getting a new one in place. Alright, so it's actually the next day. Yesterday, I don't know if it came across, but I literally just landed from a flight from Poland actually after Christmas, and I really wasn't feeling too good, but I wanted to get cracking on with this whilst I had some chance. So anyway, today's a new day. I've got a bit of eggnog to make things go a little easier today, and it's snowing outside, so bear with us whilst we work inside. So progress update. So this comes in two pieces here. There's a join right where those springs are, and so I did buy this spring puller off of Amazon or whatever to pull those on. Makes it so much easier using this tool. And then the kit comes with some a sealant, which I've used on these up here. So these are ports which I guess tuners use to check the engine running rich or lean on both cylinders. But of course we don't want that. We've just got one sensor which comes in here. There's an adapter which comes in the kit because the size of the sensor thread is smaller than what's in the pipe. Not really sure why that's the case, but I guess for different options, if you ever want a wide-angled, what's it called, wideband reading sensor, you can maybe use one, but this uses the stock sensor, so we've done that. You'll notice that there are some of these have got holes for lock wiring. I don't really need that at the moment. If I do need it in future, then that's good to have there. So we're ready to mount this in place, and the sensor's there ready to screw it in. I've taken off that bit of tape that was protecting it. So I'm just going to try and line this up and get it initially bolted in place. You do remove one of the original exhaust mounting bolt holders, so that comes off the bike. A little bit of weight saving, always good. So yeah, just gonna get our new exhaust gaskets. We can pop those in place and push those in, and then we're ready to mount up this section. Alright, check back in. Okay, so here we are now. We've got the headers bolted up, not fully tightened down yet, but they are in place. That was fairly tricky. If you've got a spare pair of hands that you can use, it would be helpful to have two people, but I did manage it just by myself. We have got the lambda sensor wired in, tightened in now. So that's just rerouted a little bit around the back of the frame now. And then the other thing to note, I can wiggle around. Just be aware that this bracket right here, you're going behind to get the muffler or mid muffler, whatever you want to call it, go behind this bracket. I didn't notice that originally, so all I did was undo the two bolts that you can see there holding the mount, took the mount off, and then moved the muffler back, put the mount back on again. So a little boo-boo, but recovered now. So I'll put a bolt through there just to hold it in place, and then we'll get the silencer in place too. Ooh, would you look at that? That is gorgeousness right there. So I went ahead and got the muffler in position, mounted up the carbon, because I wanted to reveal it with the carbon already in place. I've done a wipe down of the exhaust. I wiped it with a bit of rubbing alcohol to make sure there's no fingerprints on there. So yeah, it's just a case of doing the final torque down of all the nuts and bolts. What's good with, I heard that these baffles are usually riveted in, and I think someone's already taken, I'm not sure if I'm not sure if these are always riveted in or if there's some with screws, but this one's got a screw, so that's nice and easy. We're going to test it with and without the baffle in place and see which one sounds the nicest. So yeah, it's just a case of buttoning it all up, putting the fairings back on, and then we're good for a little sound test. So I'll be back for that in a minute. Alright, so here we go with the first sound check. This bike has not been started since October. It's now December 31st, New Year's Eve. So it's going to be a very cold start. It might not even start, we'll see. But this is with the baffle in. The camera is approximately, I don't know, a meter away, and I am using an external camera, so it may not be the best sound in the world, but we'll see. Okay, and it sounds pretty loud already with the baffle in. So I've noticed a few drops there that you can probably see on camera as well. So I'm gonna have to tighten up that clamp around the silencer there. But now I'm going to take out the baffle and then we'll see what happens. Okay, the baffle is out. Now let's see how deafening it is. Yeah, pretty cool. I really like the sound of it. I think it makes the bike sound like a bigger bike, you know what I mean? It certainly enriches the engine's noise, and compared to the modification where you drill holes in the stock exhaust system, this sounds a whole lot deeper generally, which I really like, of course, and you can really feel that the engine is breathing now. It may need a little tune-up, of course, in the future, but definitely pleased. I'm just going to let the temperature get all the way to the temperature where the fans should kick in. It's always a good idea to do that when you're letting the engine run for a while in winter. Make sure it gets all the way full temperature, burn off any condensation that might be sat in the engine anywhere, the cases, etc. So yeah, just gonna let it run up to temperature, and then I might be back with some full throttle sound clips for you. Alright, so she's up to temperature now. I'll give it some big licks. Some big throttle. So it's pretty throaty. I'm going to have to ride it on the road to tell which I prefer, with the decibel killer in or out. I'll just decide that when I'm riding on the road, I guess. But certainly so far, definitely like the noise. I think it adds something to the bike. The other benefits are, of course, the weight saving. So lots of advantages to be had from this exhaust. It might help to have a bit of a tune-up, like I say, on the ECU at some point. So eventually may get around to that. But yeah, I just really like the look of it. Once we get these fairings back on, I'm obviously going to just sort out this clamp situation. It's dripping a little bit of condensation. But yeah, definitely love it. I like the look of it. I've always liked that angle of the silencer rather than just having something stuck sort of here. I like how it flows with the bike. I like the look of it in general. And it really adds some character to the bike. So yeah, a very big thumbs up from me. Is, you know, quite an expensive system, but fits really well. Had no issues with fitment, and the instructions are very clear, so that's great, and it just looks really nice on the bike. So yeah, I'll get the fairings put on, might take a few pictures for the old Insta, etc., and a thumbnail. But I think that's all I've got for you for now. She's just gonna hibernate again for a little bit until the weather improves. This is what we've got right now. We've got some snow on the ground, all rather wet and miserable over here. So until some sunnier weather gets back, that's all for the moment. Got a little dude telling me to slow down over here, but we don't listen to him. Full throttle. Alright everyone, thanks for watching, and this is the R7 going back into hibernation for a little bit longer. So I'll say goodbye for now. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye. Have a good new year. 2024 is going to be a big year for us. Track days in America on this bike coming up, so stay tuned, subscribe, like, all the business to catch up with that when it happens. And thanks for watching again. Bye.